the fantastic sculptural art of Nikki Taylor at the Royal William Yard, Plymouth. You can contact Nikki through her website listed here. Hello Nikki, it's been a while since we met. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Been having a busy time since we last met.
So what have you been doing?
My main highlight is I've been making a couple of figures for Bastille.
Yes.
For their wide world tour.
Brilliant.
And that's been very exciting because it was designed to reflect the album cover.
Yeah.
And the two figures were designed originally to sit right up high, but during the technical rehearsals, we discovered that they actually also worked very well, sitting right down amongst it with the drummer.
Uh-huh.
And so instead of simply being, if you like, fixed props, they have actually become part of an ongoing interactive multimedia spectacular, which is just simply very exciting for me.
So how did you get involved with Bastille?
They approached me. They did actually approach me about 2 years ago to make a figure, but I wasn't able to do it at the time.
Yeah.
And so they came back, and I had a frenetic fortnight of making two figures, which should really have taken me about 15 weeks. So I'm still trying to catch up with my sleep. But it was very exciting. You know, it was very exciting to see a bit of a different world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to see one's work go on and have its life, you know.
Yeah.
Most of my sculptures have a rather more static life when they leave me.
So have you got any examples of the work that you did for them?
On my phone, I have one. I don't know whether I can get my picture up on my phone or what have you. Or on my computer, I've got a picture. So I could plug that in.
Quick look at the picture off your computer?
Yeah, absolutely. The figures were designed originally to go as part of the big screen presentation. So they're on top of the video screen, and that is acting as a sort of symbolic version of the New York skyline to reflect the album cover.
Yeah.
And then what we discovered when I took them down for one reason or another, and here I'm going to have to look for it, I'm sorry. What we discovered, but there we are with them again up high, that's an actual live shot of one of the taken from the back of the stage. One of the.
Is this in America as well?
This could be somewhere like Reading. Actually, I'm not quite sure where that one happened. But when you look at this shot, will that go more full screen?
Yeah.
No, doesn't it?
That's all right.
There we are, that's the best one. But when we were at the technical rehearsal, I had to take them down while they did some adjusting, and I popped them at the edge of the stage. And with the two of them sitting there, they just realised that that was a whole additional opportunity that we could be going for. And the rationale for the figures altogether is that it follows the theme of a lot of Dan's music, and there's Dan,
Yes.
which is basically about the interaction between people in this strange world that we've created. And what is so wonderful is that they're able to interact with these figures on a completely different basis. They're able to interact with them much more fully than we had ever intended. And that's just wonderful because it means that instead of them just being fixed items up high, that it's a kind of ongoing collaborative process.
So how long did it take you to do this project?
I only had 2 weeks in which to do it, so I worked round the clock.
Yeah.
And I started this chap's head at 3 o'clock in the morning on the last day,
Yeah.
and I had to have them finished by 9.
My word. Amazing, well done.
But what's interesting is actually over here, I've got pictures of these are all the measurements of the guys that I use.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Lovely to meet
See you again. Bye-bye.
See you. And these are the measurements that I took of the two guys.
Yeah.
So none of this stuff comes. Okay, Mark. None of this stuff is done without considerable planning and work. And in fact, I've got.
So what was your brief?
The brief was to reflect the album cover and have the two guys sitting there, and it wasn't about are they about to jump or are they not about to jump. It was much more ambiguous about two guys hanging out in that space,
Yeah.
and kind of observing the world. You know, the New York skyline is a wonderfully iconic version of a wonderful way of encapsulating the modern world. And as I say, Dan's whole theme is this whole question of how we interrelate with each other in the contemporary environment that we've created, in this sort of extraordinary thing that is the world.
Did you listen to a lot of their music?
I did, indeed. In fact, when you listen to the music, it's quite interesting. There's actually quite a lot of thought a lot of thought that goes into the whole thing. They're not just wonderful tunes.
Yes.
There's quite there's a whole undercurrent of thought. And it was just really interesting because, in fact, my own work, it's all about connectivity. So, albeit I look at it from the body side and express it in sculpture,
yes.
What our underlying themes aren't that different. And
Yeah.
so the fact that I should be working with them is perhaps more than just coincidence.
Yeah, and you've got a new piece down here, some smaller pieces, haven't you?
Yes, this is the kind of thing that I make a lot of.
Yeah.
And this is what it'll look like when it's hanging on the wall. So at the moment, I need to wire this piece on, but otherwise it is as it will be finished.
Yeah, well, it's tremendous, isn't it?
And the other thing I've been up to, for example, since I saw you last, was I've done this. I've done a body portrait of this lady here. I'm sure she won't mind you seeing the photos. They're all very tasteful.
Yeah.
But this was a wedding present for her husband.
Nice one.
And so that was very nice. And she's wanted one of these sculptures for about the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And finally had an occasion that she could justify.
And how long do they take to do?
Well,
Commission?
they take, it's weeks rather than days.
Yes.
There. But again, with her, you know, I had the modelling shot with her, and with her as well, I took a lot of measurements. And she was delighted with the final piece, as was the husband.
Nice one. So what's your website again?
www.nikkitaylorsculpture.co.uk.
Thanks very much, Nikki, and have a good night.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Turn myself around now, look back in disgrace. I think of what I've done now, when time has took its place. You call me every night now, and I'm not gonna chase. 'Cause all I ever wanted was you. 'Cause all I ever wanted was you. You look into my eyes now, deep inside my mind. You don't know how I feel, you're talking all the time. The beauty lies within you, the smile that's on your face. 'Cause all I ever wanted was you. 'Cause all I ever wanted.
Contact Nikki through her website listed here. Music on this video is with great thanks by Chris Oxland. You can Facebook him for gigs in Plymouth. This has been Chris Summerfield Media Production 2016. You can contact me through ccs1212@hotmail.com and PayPal me at christophersummerfield@gmail.com if you can help me with these free videos. It's a lifestyle.